player, now the same lame player. They call a player male. What you talking that funky, about my face. Wearing that monkey. Not that. That might give you life advice. Get some money.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight we start Week 5 with a primetime matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance. Reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Off play action. Middleton. They'll roll him out. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone. For a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together. They've got a chance of coming out with a W.
Well, this defense for the Eagles, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Sliding out of the pocket. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Play fake. Winston. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Off the play fake, Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. The kick by Lutz is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there. And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, a 14-3 ball game. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The Eagles at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
Play action now. Winston. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Rolling to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Panther 11, Panther 11. There we go, Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20.
Throwing is Hurts. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
It's a second down run with Sanders. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw, Winston. Looking deep for Julio. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 44 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye. He
just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
To throw again on second down. Winston eluding the pressure right. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Winston now. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Thomas will come in motion right. On 1st and 10, Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. And some room to maneuver. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of the first half. So where do they go from here?
The first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
From the 30 on second down, Winston. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Working with a 2nd and 4. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
On play action, Winston. And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 96 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
A busy night continues for Kamara. It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They go play action. Winston. He's going to wind up and air it out.
And this will be incomplete. Heck, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Room here to run.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 15 more yards there and quickly another 1st down.
Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
The kick by Elliott is good.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Here's Winston.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every...
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 37. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield.
And this is going to be intercepted. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Alert 3, alert 3.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Winston. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Talk about two sides of the ball and cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
109 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career.